Hi Diana, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Hey, so it's been about a week since our last session.
Yeah.
How's this week for you?
It was pretty good actually. I had a talk with my mother. You
Okay.
know, um, nobody in my family was aware that I was having this relationship with this person.
Okay,
So I talked to my mom.
that's a big step to tell your mom about that.
Yeah,
Very good.
it was. I guess I was afraid to tell her before
Mm-hmm.
because I was afraid she might judge me because she had to go through that with my father and the affair.
Right, we talked about that last week. About how that was a very difficult situation, especially for your mom, and it was a lot of hurt for your family.
Yeah. And so I talked to her, and she was very supportive. She did say that she said that that I knew what that what being the other person would do
Yeah.
to a marriage to people that I didn't deserve, but that it was my choice. That I knew if the person made me happy, I should just be with the person. But that what she said basically was that I needed to assume the consequences of like my actions,
Yeah.
but that whatever my decision was, she was going to always be there, to support just basically whatever I wanted to do.
Good. So your mom, after having this talk, was this maybe a different kind of outcome than what you thought might happen when you talked to her?
Yeah, definitely. I thought she was just going to go nuts on me. Just, I didn't raise you to be that person. I raised you better. But it was because she did. We were always brought up with, values and always trying to act right, always trying not to harm the person next to you or anybody. Be honest, be truthful, be loyal, be all these things. And then here I am, having a relationship with a married man that's not very honest or respectful. So I thought she was just gonna let me have it.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She was very supportive, and I guess maybe she thought in the end I would make the better decision. I guess I don't know. Maybe she had some faith. I don't know.
Tell me more about that. What it felt like to have your mom give you that support.
Well, it was, it was surprising. It was really surprising. I wasn't expecting it. Like I said, I thought she was just going to nag and, because, she was always very tough on us. And, I remember I stole a pack of gum once I was like 8, and I asked her to buy me some gum. She said no, because gum would destroy your teeth and you have a very nice smile. And so I put it in my pocket, and then I opened it up in the car, and I had a piece. And so she took me back to this grocery store and talked to the manager and apologized for taking gum. And so I was 8. I was crying, So she was always very tough on us in that aspect. Trying to always you can't do wrong. Always try to do the right thing. And so I thought she was just gonna call me up on my misbehavior, but she didn't. So I was just surprised, and it's just like, wow. I guess that's the unconditional love parents have for their children.
Yeah, so having this talk maybe reminds you a little bit about that love that existed in that relationship, getting a little bogged down with this worry that maybe she was going to be like she was when you were 8. But that didn't happen, that she offered you that support in whatever decision you were going to make. And knowing, and we know too after talking about this, that really the decision you knew you wanted to make from the beginning was getting out of this relationship. That was hard, and it sounds like your mom maybe knew that was what you wanted as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think she did mention that she had noticed that my mood had been different. That I wasn't for a while I had been just easily pissed off, and you could tell that I was irritated or that something was not quite right.
Yeah.
And guess it is this struggle of, knowing that you're hurting someone, that you don't know if you're just hurting someone, knowing that what you're doing is wrong, and knowing that. So I guess that was kind of like a weight, and it's still, it was a weight that I was carrying on, that I knew it was wrong, and I didn't want to, carry it, but I was doing it anyways. And it was affecting me,
Yeah.
in a positive way.
So you talked about all this in the past tense. So this was a weight, and these feelings were burdensome. So are you feeling like some of that is gone now? Or?
Yeah. I don't know. Just talking to my mother really helped.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, now I know. Before, I knew I had to I knew I had to step out of this relationship, but I wasn't 100% sure that I was willing to do it.
Okay.
Now he hasn't had the time to meet us, so that's why I haven't done it, but it's happening. I prefer, I want my peace of mind. I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel good about the way I was brought up. I want to feel that I'm a person that has values, that has a moral compass, and this is definitely
Not giving you those things.
And so I prefer that over this unsettling relationship.
Okay. All right. So just to kind of bring together all these things that we've discussed thus far. So had this talk with your mom, went very different than what you expected, got a lot of support and a lot of that love that you're maybe needing to feel in that relationship, and it's maybe giving you a bit of a push in really being ready to own that that you are wanting these things and that this relationship isn't giving them to you, even though you were maybe finding other things that you liked in this relationship, maybe some of that support and some of that love, but maybe feeling a little bit more control over this relationship now.
Yeah, definitely. I guess support is actually, I guess, what I was looking for. And in this relationship, he was very, supportive, understanding. He was very, wanting me to be okay all the time and wanting me to talk. So I felt like I was cared for. And so knowing that, that he's not my only support, kind of help me get the strength to be like, oh yeah, let's go for it. And just really understand that, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Obviously, this wasn't meant to be.
You say that so sure. What makes you so sure?
Well,
just tell me a little bit about that.
If it was meant to be, I wouldn't be married. I wouldn't be doing these things with a married person. I think there's, there's an okay way to do things. This wasn't it. And I don't know, maybe I was just afraid that I would never find the right man. Because I thought, all the guys were cheaters and blah, blah, blah. But now I know, I just, you can't put them all in the same box, I guess. So now I know, that, I guess it's possible to have a good relationship with someone else. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I'm not just obsessed with the fact that I need a relationship, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to do that now.
And you kind of found that through some other relationships in your life, like with your mom, seeing that you can find those things in other people and that there are successful relationships.
Yeah. A lot of my friends are married, and just looking at their, obviously there's a couple that are, I guess 2 of my girlfriends are divorced, but they got married on their own. At the they were pregnant and so they got married.
Okay.
But definitely like my other girlfriends, they have really stable marriages. They're pretty much in love. They're going like 5 years married, so it's like just looking at those relationships, it's like, oh, you know, not every single guy is a cheater.
Mhm.
Not every single guy is gonna betray you. Not all guys are gonna be, you know, assholes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think those are some really great conclusions to have come to, and I'm really proud of this progress that you've made. That's a really good thing. And I want to maybe talk about a little. Let's maybe fast forward. So now you're really at the point where you're ready to maybe leave this relationship. What's life going to be like when this relationship does end?
Well, it's gonna be an adjustment. Just because I was getting used to, you know, having that person to talk to every time I wake up and when I go to bed and blah blah blah. It's gonna be an adjustment because you know I've spent so much time with this person. You know, it's not a couple of months. It's been like 8 months.
Yeah.
Until you kind of get used to them being around, and used to the text, and used to the phone call, and used to going out for dinner and stuff. But, you know, I have other things going on for me. Like I have my dogs, I have my family, I have my friends, and so just focusing more energy into those other relationships will, you know, will help.
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. All right. Well, I think this has been a really great session, and in the last session we did touch a lot on a lot of your family issue, and we talked about your mom already and how this was very difficult for her when your father divorced your mom because of an affair he was having, and the hurt that that caused for your family. How are you feeling about that? Maybe we can just explore that a little bit. Has that gotten any easier?
Well, I think the main thing of that was I was just afraid I didn't want to end up like my mom,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. You know, just like she's still in love with my dad, and so it's like oh,
Mm-hmm.
he did all these things to me, and you're still in love with him. So I was afraid to like end up being like her.
Mm-hmm.
But like I mentioned before, now I know that you know the relationship pretty much goes the way how you cultivate it and how you make it. It's not just like it's written in stone that you know you're getting cheated on.
Yeah.
You don't know that. It doesn't. So it you know it's like an experience to learn from. You know, it happens to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be my fate.
Okay. So feeling a lot less held back
Yeah.
by that past history, and
Yeah, definitely. Like it took me a while to understand that, you know, my dad made a mistake, but that doesn't make him a bad person or a bad man. He's actually a great man. He made a mistake. But
kind of like how you maybe made a mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bad choice. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, I think that last thing that you just said just triggered for me our last session. That was maybe a fear that you did have. You did tell me that you felt like because of this relationship, you felt like a bad person, and it overshadowed a lot of these other good things that you knew were there. So that's very powerful that now you're telling me you feel maybe the opposite.
Yeah.
That, you know, you're not a bad person just because of this one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand that.
Very good. All right, so we're almost to the end of our time, but I just wanted to tell you, like next week, I think we should meet again. You've made a lot of really great progress. But so if you're gonna maybe attempt to end your relationship before our next session, we can maybe talk about it next week and about maybe how we can help you get into your new life. Maybe we can call it that. And if not, we'll take it from wherever you're at. And, but I'd love to still meet with you again next week Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds great. That
Okay.
sounds perfect. Thank you so much for your help, Dr.
No, absolutely. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm very proud about the progress. So I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Great. Bye, Diane.
Bye.